Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Chill from the Faded Podcast. How's your week going? How are you doing? I know I ask every time I show up, but it's important. Drop me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. All right, so check this out. Today, Romans 13. We're looking at 8, I think 8 and 9. Yeah, just 8 and 9. All right. Owe no one anything. Which is what the chapter itself is talking about. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this verse, right? Play these verses, I should say, and then we'll go on from there. We'll talk about this concept of owing love. I like this concept, so let's go ahead and let's listen to these verses real quick. Owe no one anything except to love each other, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. For the commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed up in this word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It was one of the two things that Jesus told us to do, right? What was the other? The other was to love God with all your mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, with everything, right? Love God with everything you have, every fiber of your being, and then turn around and love your neighbor as yourself. Verse 9 tells us that when you do this, love your neighbor as yourself, you have summed up the commandments as a whole. You have completed. So you do these two things and you have completed the commandments. Now, Israel, back in the days of law, Israel received 613 commandments. And some of these were ceremonial and some of these, were for the people. And okay. But the ones that the people held and could be held to at the time, and that passed down, through the line and are still held today, those commandments still stand strong. And if you want to complete those commandments, Jesus is saying, give God everything, love him with everything that you have, and turn around and share that same love with your neighbor, the same love that you would give yourself, the same love that you would commit to you. Give it to them. And that is something that we should be focusing on. Like those are two huge things that Jesus told us to do. And as a Christian, if you are following these two things and you are doing these two things, then Jesus says, you have summed up all of the commandments. This is the totality of it. And here again, in Romans, we're being told, Paul is saying, this is it. You know what I'm saying? You do these two things and you're good. So, owing love, the first part of the verse is really interesting and it's curious to me, right? Because I know the Bible says, owe no man anything, pay your debts, don't, give revenue to who revenue is due. And that is hard. That is hard for some of us, a lot of us. People out here living paycheck to paycheck, they're just going to give up all their money. But it's not an idea of giving up everything that you have. It's just making sure that you pay those that you owe, right? And this concept that I heard in my head while I was reading through this concept of owing love. How can you owe somebody love, right? How do you owe someone love? I mean, it's for me anyway, it's clear in this verse right at the beginning, verse 8, it says, owe no one anything except to love each other. So owe no one anything except to love each other. So you're owing love. to other creations of God. And since we were all made in his image spiritually, we are his, right? We are his property. We've been marked by him. It just leans more into the fact and the idea that all human beings have rights, and are given rights by God. Not something that law gives you, not something that, man gives you. We are his. And in him, there is justice, there is law, right? But in him, there's also compassion, grace, mercy, peace, joy, laughter. And being created by God, says that we deserve from each other. It says that we deserve love from each other because we are made in the image of him also. So we honor each other by giving each other love. And we love others in the same way that we look at ourselves. We love each other. We love each other the same way. You know what I mean? So the first part is really adapting and figuring out how to love yourself so that you can give love to other people. I know people hear that all the time when it comes to relationships. You got to love yourself before you can love somebody else. 100% true. Totally true. You have to learn how to look past your own flaws and see the beauty in yourself. Not only for your own confidence and for your sake, but for the sake of whoever the fortunate soul is that comes across you and meets you. You have to be able to love yourself. Because love is not a thing that can exist in and of itself. It is meant to be shared. It is the property of love that makes it love, is it being given. You can't have love reflect in and on itself if it's not given to someone. The beauty of love is giving it to somebody else. So, owing someone love, the concept of that by itself is fascinating to me. Because it means when you don't want to, it means when you don't feel like it, you know? Those are those times when you pay it forward, I guess. I guess you pay it the same way you would pay anything else. So you pay it in respect. You pay it in reverence. You pay it in understanding. You pay it in kindness. Love has many faces. It has many faces. It has many attributes. And again, we are to give that love to everyone across the board. Christian, non-Christian. And listen, you don't have to understand somebody 100% to love them. You don't have to agree with them to love them. Like being in agreement with somebody who wants to drink all day enables them to do something damaging to themselves. You don't have to be in agreement with what they do, but you still love them enough to tell them, hey, I think you should do something different. I think it's time to put this down and move on. I think we should get help. That's love.
And I think today people lose that idea. I think people have lost this completely. Love does not say, okay, yeah. Anything you want. Even if it means, your death, even if it means my death, do whatever you want. That's not love. That is more so of a disability than anything else, right? Because you could believe you could fly. Jumping off a building, me allowing you to jump off a bridge when I know it's dangerous. That's not love. Love is sitting you down and being like, okay, hey, look, have you looked at this clearly? Make sure that you know what you're doing before you do it. Because I'm not bungee jumping for nobody. I don't care if there's water down there to break your fall. You hit water hard enough at a high enough height, it's like slapping into the concrete. So, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that. But love is beautiful. And to owe that to someone as their right of being a creature or a creation of the creator, that's an awesome thing. I know I mentioned this last time. I mentioned this on Sunday or Monday. I mentioned this on Monday. Love doesn't always look the way you think it should. It doesn't. It does not look the way you think it should all the time. It might show up and you might be in total disagreement with it. But you can tell if something comes from a place of love. And you can tell if something comes from a place where it's more hate or more salt than anything else. If somebody comes to you and says, oh, yo, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Like, I was worried about you for a little bit, but you came through. You did the thing and you did good. And I'm happy for you. You'd say to yourself, oh, okay. This person must be genuinely happy that I succeeded, right? But then you have other times where it's, oh, I tried to do that. I thought, I was going to do that. That was going to be me. But, it didn't work out for me. But hey, if it works out for you, that's good. That's not love. That is not love. It's funny that I get to talk about that because it just happened. It's like, okay, great. Thanks. But you can tell it comes from a different place. And at the very least, it comes off wrong. I would never congratulate somebody. I would never congratulate somebody if it sounded like that. I'd leave it. I'd just leave it. I wouldn't say anything. So we have to be very careful at how we approach giving others love, but we have to make sure that we show them, because loving people is important. People need love. As much as people act like they don't, they need love. Everybody needs love. Love is far too important to not have. Whether it's from people you know, people you don't know, or the clique that you run with, your group of friends, your people, your tribe, whatever you want to call them. Love is vital. And I feel like today we've kind of lost that idea of what love is. Love is not, a green light all the time. Sometimes love is a red light. Sometimes love makes you sit down. Sometimes love makes you adjust your hat, straighten your tie. That's what love is. It's not soft. Loving something is not soft. Love is rough. Love is abrasive. Listen, iron sharpens iron. What more love can a blacksmith give to a piece of steel than to sharpen it and polish it? If a blacksmith discards a piece of metal, it is because that metal is worthless. But if he takes the time, he folds the metal, he sharpens it, and then he polishes this metal. That metal is of value. That is love. Christ dying on the cross. That is love. Even if you don't believe, his promise is still there for you whenever you're ready to accept it. It's a free gift. So I implore you to seek out Christ and find out what this free gift is. And if you have any questions about that free gift, come find me. I am more than glad to help you discover this free gift. I take no credit of it on my own because I am the road sign. And I'm glad to be a road sign. I'm glad to be a roadmap. That's something that I will always do. So listen, if you need anything, reach out. Hit me up in those comments. Tell me what you need. Faith-wise. Or anything else if I could help. Shoot, I might ask for some help from some of you. So I got some things I'm working on and I need help. So, but with that said, as always, guys, remember Isaiah 31 or Isaiah 21. This is the way. Walk in it. I'll catch you guys later. All right. Be good.